For the longest time, our commencement speaker has been a big shot in the music industry. But first and foremost, Billy Joel is a storyteller. Some people compose music, some people write lyrics, some people play instruments, but it's the rare individual who can do all three. He's introduced us to the entertainer, Captain Jack, Piano Man, Anthony, who's moving out, and of course, the Uptown Girl. Billy Joel has not wasted the opportunities that his success has afforded him. And as you have already heard, he has taken a stand on many critical issues of today and raised our awareness of the pain and suffering of people all around us. So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure in welcoming our commencement speaker, William M. Joel.
Thank you. Thank you for the citation and the introduction. Thank you, Father Kelly and the Fairfield University Board of Trustees for honoring me. But most importantly, congratulations to the class of '91, the class that will put out the fire. I'm going to need my glasses for this. Okay. Now, when I was first asked to speak to the graduating class of Fairfield University, my initial reaction was not too dissimilar to a certain philosophy professor who's a member of the faculty here. I had to ask myself, well, what makes me qualified to do this? What relevance do I have to the future lives of these young people? After all, I didn't even go to college. And I did write a song called Only the Good Die Young. So why me? Well, after meeting with a group of Fairfield students, I realized what I might be able to share with you from my perspective. The dreams, the ambitions, the success, the perception of success of someone who does what I do. I've lived what many would consider to be an unorthodox life, but it's always been an interesting one. It is true that I didn't graduate from high school, but like you, I did spend years majoring in my own area of study. I'm a graduate of the University of Rock and Roll, class of 1970. My diploma was a check, a week's worth of wages earned from playing long nights in smoky, crowded clubs in the New York area. Now, through the years, I've been given platinum albums, Grammys, keys to cities, many other awards which are considered prestigious in my profession. But the greatest award I ever received was that check, my diploma, made out to Billy Joel, my name, 1970. Now, this particular check was enough to convince me that I no longer needed to work in a factory, or be a short-order cook, or pump gas, or paint houses, or do any of the other day jobs I'd had to do in order to make ends meet. That check meant that I was now able to make a living solely by doing the thing that I loved most, making music. It meant that I had become self-reliant as a musician. I will never forget that day. I consider it to be one of the most important days in my life. This is like a dreadlock, this thing, man. Oh, yeah. I also remember the 21-year-old Billy Joel. I often wonder what it would be like if we could somehow now meet each other. And here I am at 42. Exactly twice his age. What would I think of him? Would I find him to be naive or arrogant or simplistic, crude, noble, hopelessly idealistic? Perhaps all of these things. But more important, what would he think of me? Have I fulfilled his dream? Have I created the kind of music he would have wanted to have written? Have I compromised any of his ideals? Have I broken any of the promises I made to him? Have I lost the desire to be the best he could be? Would he be disappointed in me? Would he even like me? A 21-year-old's been the biggest pain in the neck I've had to endure in my life. Yet he has had more influence on the work I've done than anyone else for the last 21 years. He's been my greatest teacher, my deepest conscience, my toughest editor, and my harshest critic. He has significantly shaped my life. I can say to you today that what you are at this moment in your lives, you will always be in your hearts and in your necks. Now, when I met with your fellow students, they asked me, what's the most powerful lesson I have learned? After 11 years of classical training, I learned to play the piano, but I realized I was not destined to be another Van Cliburn. I learned to write songs, although what I really wanted to write were symphonies, like Beethoven. I've learned to perform, but somehow I knew I'd never be able to move like Michael Jackson or sing like Ray Charles. Out of respect for things that I was never destined to do, I've learned that my strengths are a result of my weaknesses. My success is due to my failures. My style is directly related to my limitations. You see, the only original things I've ever done have been accidents, mistakes, flubs, foul-ups, and their attendant solutions. I have an inherent talent for stumbling onto something. I'm an expert at making bad choices and illogical decisions. I've discovered that after all those years of musical instruction, after all that practice to be perfect, after all that hard work trying to compose the right notes, I'm gifted with the knack of hitting exactly the wrong notes at precisely the right time. This is my secret of originality. Now think about it. You may have learned all there is to know about reproducing the art of someone else, but only you can commit a colossal blunder in your own exquisite style. This is what makes you unique. Then you're faced with solving the problem you've created. This is what makes you inventive. Commit enough blunders and you become an artist. Solve all the problems you've created and they'll call you a genius. I've learned that no matter how successful or proficient